More from Dagenham now on the return of a former champion. Michael Hunter, aiming to reproduce the form that took him as far as a world title shot, is giving us some thrilling nights over the years. Up against Osman Aktas from France. Looks like a good test. He's unbeaten in 7. He's also the French champion. We can take this one from the start.
Well, he couldn't keep away. He's back, one of our much-loved fighters returning to the fold, having rethought his decision to call it a day. The former world title challenger, Michael Hunter, who takes on the French featherweight champion here, Osman Aktas. Tough one back for him. Glenn, are you pleased to see your northeast compatriot return?
I certainly am. He's a very good competitor, and his fights are always exciting. He's been out for a little while and maybe just fell out of love with the game a bit, but he's back and hopefully he's refreshed and ready to go again. He's certainly got more to give, I think.
Yeah, we last saw him in February when he had some trouble with Youssef Al-Hamidi. Did get a victory that night, but he was disgusted with his performance. He was kicking his gum shield around backstage and saying, "That's it, I've had it." But sparring sessions with Paul Truscott have rekindled the fire. I never really thought it went away with Hunter.
No, I think really he needs fights to get up to, you know, and I think that became a little bit of a problem. And I think that's why they've given him a bit of a test to come straight back to, because I think he needs that. He's that sort of fighter.
He has been largely inactive since the defeat to Steve Molitor. No disgrace there, the Canadian southpaw, just a level above him. But he's won British, Commonwealth and European belts, Hunter. And he is getting straight down to action here with Aktas. He's a veteran of 52 fights and really knows his way around and is in good form too.
Yep, there's a decent start from Hunter, who's getting his jab working, not rushing in clumsily, giving Aktas respect.
Hunter's game's always been about work rate and fire and determination, marauding his opponents, and his will has been extraordinary at times. Can box though, and a good right hand gets through, and Aktas felt that one.
Yep, showing a little bit of boxing ability there.
A double ABA champion, wasn't he, Michael Hunter? Good boxer for England. Different sort of style as a pro, but he has been quality. And it looks like he really wants it again. Good use of the jab. This is the sort of opening round that Neil Fannon, his trainer, would have wanted to see from Michael Hunter.
Yep, his hands are held nice and high. There's good head movement. There's nice sharp jab, and he looks as if he's really concentrating in there.
Welcome back, Michael Hunter. Good start.
Round 3.
Third round here. Featherweight contest, international one. Blue and white of Osman Aktas from Saint-Nazaire in France, who on paper, well, it's a tough ask for Michael Hunter. But at the moment, it's been Hunter in the ascendancy.
Well, Neil Fannon, you hear him say there that he thinks Aktas will start to pick it up a little bit as this fight goes on, and he would have to, really, wouldn't he? So he might just start getting a little bit busier now.
Yeah, Aktas has had 4 fights this year. 2 have gone 8 rounds, 110 and 112, so that could stand in his favour the longer this goes on. And a right hand just clips Michael Hunter. He was threatening that in the second. Combination back from the Hartlepool man.
Yep, come back well, but Aktas is doing more, is getting closer now.
Just applying the pressure here, Osman Aktas.
Wait, step back, step back.
Nothing totally surprising or particularly technical about what Aktas is doing. He just wants to get forward and find the gaps in the Hunter defence. I mean, Glenn, when you've been inactive, when you've had, you know, months out of the ring, is that a problem reflex-wise?
Yeah, it is a little bit. You know, you've got to settle into it a bit. Hopefully he's done a lot of sparring. Certainly it looks as if he must have. But sometimes your timing is off a little bit and, you know, you just can't get into your rhythm.
Good right hand from Hunter. I know was pleased to see Paul Truscott land the Commonwealth Featherweight title earlier in the year. Big boost for the Northeast, even though it's Middlesbrough, not Hartlepool. Are you all one and the same up there, or not?
I'm a little bit north. Newcastle man, Adam.
Hunter just being asked a question or two by Aktas here in the third. Interesting that Neil Fannin predicted that he'd begin to crank up the heat on Hunter.
Yeah, he's just made it a little bit more difficult for Hunter, hasn't he? But he still hasn't really started finding the punches to win the round yet. Aktas. Hunter still dominating with that jab.
You're still busy, Michael Hunter. And there's the up jab. I think that was being talked about by Neil Fannin. Close around, but still Hunter's. Roland Cazur in the corner. Been a pro for 13 years, Aktas. Solid, but not exceptional.
No, but he did start to do a little bit more, and a nice combination there, the right, the left, and then the following right, all getting through. So starting to have more success. But that was mainly because he started to get that much busier.
He's got a tough little head on him. Yeah, I know. You know, just get a few body shots. But everything compact. Don't lay in, don't get sloppy. The distance is out to him, so don't get sloppy.
Fourth round, you're watching the comeback fight for Michael Hunter, who sort of announced his retirement earlier in the year. Got slightly fed up with the game, also the sad news of the loss of his mother, who he was very close to. And he was a bit lost, but he's a knuckle down and believes he can give boxing a real go again. He's won 28 of 30. Just one loss to Steve Molitor on a draw early in his career. So he's a pretty good force.
Yeah, there's certainly no disgrace in that, is there? Good career so far. I'm sure there's more to give.
It's in that terrific domestic dust-up with Isham Pickering, who had Hunter down a couple of times in the early rounds, but Hunter was driven on by the fans in the Hartlepool Borough Hall and came through to a good win there. Held the European title for a while and will want to get another crack at it. Again, just walked into the right hand of Osman Aktas.
Yep, just dropping that left slightly on occasion.
Some blood on the forehead of Aktas.
And that's better from Hunter. Just
and left eye is cut of Michael Hunter. That's where it came from. Hunter's cut, and he has been before in his career. And one of her right hand opened that.
Well, that'll just spur the Frenchman on a little bit.
It's also spurred Hunter on, Glenn. I don't think he's happy about that one little bit.
No, he won't be. But what he hasn't got to do is panic. He's got to keep a cool head now.
Another right hand landed on the eye. Bob Williams, the referee, just having a look at it. Nasty, but it's flowing down the side at the moment. Michael Marsden in the blue corner, getting ready to work on it in between rounds.
Yep, he's landed a few good right hands, hasn't he? Aktas.
Yep, we think a punch did cause the cut. It's that right hand that's just triggering through from Osman Aktas. Not that powerful, but it's accurate. Back comes Hunter with a good one of his own. Just steadied Aktas in his tracks there.
Well, he needed that, didn't he, in this round? Just to get the respect of Aktas again, put him in his place a little bit. Because he's done much better, Aktas.
Right hand from Hunter, and just reminding us too in this session why we all enjoyed watching him so much. The whirlwind from Hartlepool.
Yeah, good work rate, good right hand going in, but he has to take a right back. And this is warming up.
Yeah, good session that, wasn't it? Both had their successes, but they've got to work on this eye.
What call is that?
It's on the side, Glenn. Doesn't look in too bad a place.
Get back to your box.
No, it's not bad at all, to be honest. There's a little bit of blood. It looked a little worse than it was. There's the right hand that I think caught it. Yep, there you see the blood straight away. It was a good punch. Really sharp. Just brought it over the top of that left hand. He had his hands up, Hunter, but just got over the top of the gloves, didn't it? And there, a lot of blood around the face, but the cut is not too bad.
Yeah. Michael Marsden patches it up. It looked nastier than it is, so that's lucky for Michael Hunter. Shakes his shoulders. Back in. Good fight developing here. Bit of grease just on the other eye of Michael Hunter. But a decent tussle with Osman Aktas, and this is probably answering a few questions in his mind, in Michael Hunter's deep inside, as to how much he really wants this. He may well have to tough it out. Right hand from Aktas. Hunter certainly won the first two, third was closer. Did you give the fourth to Aktas?
Yep, maybe just had a bit more success, Aktas. He came back into it towards the end of the round and had a good finish to the round, Hunter. But I think Aktas had done some good work in that round.
Certainly improving here, Osman Aktas. Also held the French super featherweight title, so might be pretty strong in there. The compact body. It's only 5'5", but he is solid and rugged too.
Decent work with the left hand, but then has to take a thudding right from Aktas.
Not quite using the jab like he was in the opening 2 or 3 rounds, Michael Hunter.
Yeah, he's just getting inside the jab. Aktas just starting to force the fight a little bit more, making this his kind of fight.
Not as much snap, but that was a decent, cheeky combination from Michael Hunter. He's probably irritated by the cut eye rather than it giving him serious problems. Could have done without it, but he knows how hard it is in a ring. You've got to knuckle down and get on with it.
I'm just trying to build up a little bit more momentum from that jab, and that was good. Double jab, left hook, little chip jab, worked as well.
Yeah, there's still plenty to like about him, isn't there, Michael Hunter? He hasn't totally lost it by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and you've got to remember he's just coming back. This is his first fight after a good while out. So he needs to get rounds under his belt.
Against a tough Frenchman who's been in really good form and has been fighting regularly as well. So it's a difficult one.
That's right, who's been busy and who's been winning. So, they give him a test. He's answering the questions. Just to found a little bit of motivation in this game again, doesn't he, Hunter? Good right hands landing from him, then the left uppercut.
Yeah, lovely finish to this session from Michael Hunter, showing some of the class of old. 7th round. And look at the spring in his step. Michael Hunter can't wait to get going again. He knows the championship distance well, the 12 rounds. This only scheduled for 8. It looks like he wants much more of it.
Well, he took a couple of rights at the beginning of this round. Needs to try and establish his jab again.
I think he heard you, Glenn. Look at that. Won't go away, Osman Aktas, though. Body shot, right hand. Getting closer, inching his way forward. Knows time is running out for him. If he wants that European title shot, he needs to try and stop Michael Hunter.
Well, if he wants to win this fight, he's got to stop Hunter because he's quite a way behind on points on my card. Needs something big. Aktas started this round quite well, though.
Yeah, slashing punches. Beat Hunter to the jab there as well. Even with his short arms. Has lost 14 times, Aktas. But I guess when you're in a winning mentality, suddenly the confidence comes back and you just got to keep the run going.
Yeah, he's been in a good spell in his career, Aktas. So he'll have fancied he could do something with Hunter.
But all those runs on the cold beaches around Seaton, Carew and Hartlepool have probably helped Michael Hunter. Always had a terrific engine, fitness. The right hands have been the problem, though, tonight.
Yeah, especially in this round. He's took a few more in this round. He's on the back foot a little bit, Hunter. I don't think that's really suiting him. I think he could do with pushing Aktas back with that jab.
Yeah, the left hand low, and he's getting the rights over the top. Aktas. Blood again from the cut to the left eye, which they've controlled.
Just punching the gloves and arms there. Hunter not really scoring those punches. Right hand lands from Aktas, though.
Yeah, good round for Osman Aktas. And there again, a frustrating one for Michael Hunter. Just couldn't get into the rhythm in the 7th. Was bundled and bustled out of it by the Frenchman, who's still got ambition.
Nice deep breaths, mate.
It's been a good fight to watch this, hasn't it, Glenn?
Yes, it has. I mean, Hunter's always in good fights, isn't he? You know, he makes them exciting. Sometimes a little bit too exciting for his own good. But in that round, he was a little bit subdued. Aktas got control, kept control, landed with some good right hands.
Let him walk onto them. Let him walk onto them. No more injuries. Don't go mad, Chris. That's all, mate. You don't. You play right into his hands because that's what he's wanting you to do.
Dernier round, tu lèves les mains, c'est fini.
Ok, allez, à fond, bien les mains levées.
On y va.
Plenty of slaps at Ronnie Davis on Chris Eubank for Osman Aktas in the corner. They touch gloves and he needs a big last round, the Frenchman. Michael Hunter has almost certainly won most of them on your card, 3 ahead, so barring any late drama here, should have the comeback win.
Yep, I think he's just got to try and get control again, get the centre of the ring, keep Aktas on the jab and not take any chances in this round, Hunter.
He was slow out of the blocks, Osman Aktas. Not quite as skilled as Michael Hunter, but he has got through the guard of the Hartlepool fighter. And the uppercut there, and he's having more success late on here, Osman Aktas. I mean, if he had a big punch, you just worry a little bit about Hunter now.
Well, Hunter's still got his hands up He's worryingly been hit with that right hand a bit too many times. But I think that's a little bit of ring rust and the timing not quite been there throughout the full 8 rounds.
Is it because he's backing off and not getting the jab into Aktas's face, or is it because the head movement's not quite as good?
I think he's throwing the jab as he's moving back, so the jab's falling short. He needs to step in with the jab, and that'll upset the rhythm of Aktas. He's allowing Aktas to get momentum and just roll forward with his punches.
Aktas has been throwing almost as many as Michael Hunter normally does in the last couple. Crowd have been very interested in this one. Bob Williams has hardly had to get involved. Leather flying. A good match. Aktas has grown in confidence as it's gone on. Michael Hunter has a minute to cling on and will surely pick up this win.
Yep, it's Aktas who's doing the better work in the last round, though.
Right, step back, step back.
Yeah, there's an argument he might have won 2 or 3, maybe even 4 of these. Only a couple on my card. I think Hunter's in a good enough lead.
Yep, again he was pushed back though. Hunter with the right hand.
Does that tell you, Glenn, that he needs another 8-rounder or 2 before he goes into a championship fight?
Most definitely. He's just took his foot off the gas a little bit, and I think he's maybe just feeling the pace over the last couple of rounds. Certainly his work's become more ragged, and Aktas is getting into these last rounds, and certainly even more than that, he's winning this round and won the last one.
It's become tougher this for Michael Hunter late on. No real surprise, but certainly glimpses through this that he is back. Crowd are happy, so is he. That's proof that Michael Hunter was right not to walk away. And it's good news for the Northeast, and it's good news for fight fans in 2009. Marks out of 10 for that performance?
Well, I think that was probably a 6, but it was certainly encouraging. Good to get back against a decent opponent, and I think there's work to be done, but it's just good that Michael Hunter's back. He's certainly got more to offer.
Success ratio, Aktas ahead, but certainly Michael Hunter's fight for the most. 1 or 2 moments of alarm, especially with the right hands, but job done, and I bet he's delighted about that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. After 8 rounds of boxing, referee Mr. Bob Williams has scored this contest for Aktas 75 points, for Hunter 78 points. Your winner from Hartlepool, Michael Hunter.
You know, I've had the toughest year of me entire life. You know, I'm back, Neil Fannin dragged me from the streets of Hartlepool, being a bad boy again, and 3 months solid I've trained like athlete, a professional athlete now, and that was just what I love. Absolutely, I could have went all night with him. You know, he was a perfect opponent for the comeback fight, nice good 8 rounds, it was a good pace. You know, and he was a toughie, he's a French champion, he hasn't been beat over the year, you know, so it was no mug, and I just over the moon, I'm back.
Does that convince yourself that you can come again and back to title level?
I always knew how to come back. I'm a tough council estate kid, you know, and he just took me in the ring and I'll fight all night.
So why did he retire? Why did he walk away in February?
I just had personal problems, you know, I was disheartened, and obviously the loss of my mum, which will be next week, you know. I had a share of my life, but now it's behind me, we're back.
Johnny, it's good to see him put all these problems behind him, and good to see him back.
I think that Steve Molitor defeat really knocked his confidence, plus having a bad year, but his work rate and his determination breaks a lot of fighters, and that is an instinctive thing he's got.